Shalom. I want to begin first and foremost giving all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jehovah and Jesus. The name of the Father being Yahweh, and the name meaning He exists, and the name of the Son being He delivers, meaning is Yahweh Shai, meaning He delivers. I want to give all praises in the ancient Hebrew tongue while facing the east. Call halal, Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Watash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, the water, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Watash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Yasharala, Greatmillstone. Shalom to the 144,000. Shalom to the elect, the nation of Israel, who are the descendants of the slaves, today identified as the so-called African Americans, so-called Hispanics, Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. My name is Maka Allah, and today I want to talk about again this conflict is ongoing and developing conflict between Israel, Iran, and America. All right, Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sue. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. And right now we're in a time of war. All right, when those seasons come, you can't force another season. All right, you have to let it pass naturally. All right, you can't just, you're in the middle of winter and you're like, man, we're gonna force the spring to come soon. No, you gotta let it take its course. All right, so right now you have to let these wars take their course, because we're in a time of war and there's nothing they can do to stop these wars. Right, Trump weighs potential U.S. military strike on Iran, demands unconditional surrender. President Trump is considering whether to launch a military strike against Iran, current and former administration officials told NBC News. All right, and they ain't considering, this is already decided, all right? They already got the chess pieces in place, and they know what they're going to do. All right, because when you're playing chess, you don't move your pieces in vain, all right? When you're playing chess against someone, you could anticipate what kind of move they're going to make by how they move their pieces. So, just by observing all those planes that they're dispatching over there to that area, come on, man, that tells you what they're planning on doing. Trump warned Iran's leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei that he is an easy target and our patience is wearing thin. Trump demanded Tehran surrender in its escalating conflict with Israel. All right, but like I said, it's a time of war, so there is no surrender. All right, and these Iranian people, man, they're proud. They're not going to surrender. All right, they're going to fight to the very end. U.S. positions military to potentially join Israel war with Iran. The U.S. military is positioning itself to potentially join Israel's assault on Iran as President Trump weighs direct action against Tehran to deal a permanent blow to its nuclear program. All right, and that's all rhetoric. It's all lies. Right? They've been wanting to. Israel has been wanting to fight Iran for ages. All right, knowing that America is going to back her up. So they've been wanting for this conflict to pop off for the longest. And now everything is finally in place for this conflict to happen. Right. Despite close ties with Iran, Russia stands aside as Israel attacks. It is a propaganda piece. Right? They're trying to make it seem like Russia is not interested in helping out a fellow BRICS nation. Right? Iran aided the Kremlin with badly needed drones in the first year of its Ukraine invasion, helped Moscow build out a critical factory to make drones at home, and inked a new strategic partnership treaty this year with President Vladimir V. Putin, heralding closer ties, including in defense. But 5 months later, after that treaty was signed, the government in Iran is facing a grave threat to its rule from attacks by Israel, and Russia, beyond phone calls and condemnatory statements, is nowhere to be found. And it says, no sign that Moscow will come to Tehran's aid, all right? And there is a sign, all right? The Lord gave the sign right here in Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38, verse 1, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Adonai Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. All right. And the people that are in Israel right now, those are not the real Israelites, right? So that doesn't apply to them. But Gog is Russia, right? And it says right here that Russia is going to get involved in a conflict that's going to have them moving their military towards that region, right? Towards Israel. So it's inevitable, all right? This war is inevitable. The war of Armageddon, all right? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. All right, they're gonna take all their troops, all right, march towards Israel, and that war is gonna end with nuclear destruction. All right, the nuclear missiles are gonna go out around different parts of the world, but mainly Babylon, which is gonna be completely destroyed by nuclear fire. And the Lord is gonna extract His elect from all over the world, from the four corners of the world. And we're going to see the nuclear destruction from up above in the skies. And that's when that war ends. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope the video was edifying. Shalom.